Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica, and I'm going to do a reading for the sign of Pisces. Okay, and this is going to be different. I'm not going to use the cards unless I'm guided to for you, Pisces. Okay, this is going to be direct messages from your angels to you. Okay, so there might be some pauses. That's me getting a message. Okay, but they flow pretty quickly. And I will just relay the message to you, okay? And you can take the message if it resonates with you, or leave it behind if it doesn't seem like it applies, okay? It'll be different for everybody, okay? This is general messages, okay? Okay, I just received the message that you shouldn't stop. You've come so far. Okay, so whatever you're doing, the angels are saying don't stop. Okay, it's working out for you. Okay, so that might involve you've left something behind, or you've picked up some type of momentum in your life, and you're in a good routine, you're in a good place. Continue with that. Okay, whatever it means for you. Okay, Spirit is saying that there's people that you've chosen to give your time and energy to, and those people are there for a reason. Okay, so it seems like Spirit is saying that you are surrounding yourself at this time with people that are there for a reason, meaning that it's good that they're there, that they are shouldering some type of load for you, they're helping you in some situation, they're moving you forward. Obviously, Pisces, you've surrounded yourself with some good people. Maybe you found people you just click with. It's just working out. Okay, Spirit is saying that's a good thing. Those people are there for a reason. Okay? Okay, sometimes what we think we need and what we really need are two different things, is the message. Okay, so maybe you think you need some things that you don't really need. So maybe you could go through and try to figure that out in some type of order. Like what is it that I really need? And what will truly make me satisfied, fulfilled, and happy? Okay? And once we're aware of our needs and what and how they need to be met, okay, that's where we can obtain true satisfaction. Because once you're aware of something and then you figure it out and you get what you need, a lot of happiness can be attained. Okay, it's when you don't know what you need and someone can come along and tell you what you need, and maybe they fill your mind full of things that you don't really need. Okay, but since they've put it into your head, you can't stop thinking about that. But it's not necessarily what you need. It's just a thought that's been placed in your head. So it's up to you to decide if you need to reject it or claim that as a true need. Okay, at this time. So claim your needs or reject what really isn't a need. And that'll be up to you to decide at this time. Okay, Spirit is saying that some things are better left in the past. Okay, and that'll be different for each of you. So this is very hard to do, but try not to carry around your past. Okay? And that might mean you go back and you unpack your past. You unpack different issues or things that have happened to you that were beyond your control, and you deal with it. Okay? And sometimes that means you just have to put it on a shelf and say, this is what it is. Okay, this is what happened, and I'm going to move past it. It's not going to define me as a person. Okay, this is just something that happened to me. It's not who I am. Okay, so Spirit is saying, leave some of that past behind. So if you can't leave it behind, then you got to work on it. Work through it. Okay? But once you work through it, just let it go. Okay? It could be stifling you, Pisces, in some type of way. Spirit is saying it's putting restrictions on you in some way, the past. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay? If this feels like it's your message, you'll know what Spirit is saying here. Okay, they're saying that sometimes the best kept secrets are the lies we tell ourselves. Okay? Which that's a fascinating statement in itself. So maybe you're secretly telling yourself something that's not true, okay? And you've got to untell yourself, stop telling yourself this lie, okay? So, and it could be in terms of your self-esteem or how you perceive yourself or what you've been told. And now you've taken on that personality of what you've been told. Okay, so maybe you were raised to we don't show emotions. Emotions are weaknesses. Or you were not taught real love or shown real love. Or somebody messed with your self-worth, okay, in some type of way. And you have wounds that, and in turn, you're telling yourself things that aren't true. Okay, Pisces. So what you tell yourself is what you're going to believe. Okay, and if you're telling yourself lies, then that's going to be the truth you stand on. And Spirit doesn't want you to stand on lies. Okay, so you need to make sure, Spirit is wanting you to make sure that you're standing on the truth. Okay? And especially when it comes to your self-worth, your self-esteem, your value, you are all of us are one of a kind, Pisces. No one can be replaced. And don't think that what someone else has put as a value on you in some respects is the truth. Okay? Spirit is wanting you to love yourself. I can tell you that. So make sure that you love yourself. Okay? First and foremost, love yourself. Okay? That's one of the, if not the most powerful thing that you can do for yourself, is just to show yourself unconditional love. Because if you don't love yourself, the things that you will get, the trouble you will get into is far reaching. Okay? When you don't love yourself, because you're not valuing yourself, you're not seeing yourself like you should if you don't love yourself. Okay? So you may give yourself or put yourself into situations that you wouldn't if you knew your true worth. Okay? So don't let anyone ever devalue you. Okay? You are priceless, is what your angels want you to always remember. Always. Okay, Spirit is saying sometimes the road we thought we should take is a dead end. Okay, so maybe you're in a situation where you've gone really far, you've gone really deep into some type of situation. Okay, but nothing's coming of it in a lot of ways. Spirit is saying it could be a dead end. So what they're saying is you possibly need to turn around, reassess. Okay, make sure that you're not like giving yourself to a black hole and nothing's going to come out of it in some ways. Okay? And that could be different for each of you, but don't feed a black hole. Okay? And that could be taken in a lot of respects. It doesn't have to just be a love relationship. Okay? Okay, Spirit is saying continue to ask yourself the big questions, and in doing so, you will find yourself. Okay? So, ask yourself those hard questions. Okay, really look at yourself, because that's where you're going to find yourself. Ask yourself, am I settling? Ask yourself, am I getting what I need out of this situation? Ask yourself, do I see myself in this for the long haul? Ask yourself, is this forever, or is this just fun? Ask yourself, is this person or this job really, am I thriving in this, or am I just surviving in this? Okay? Does this really where I want to be? Okay? Am I who I want to be? Take a look at yourself. Are you the person that you want to be? Okay? Just Spirit wants you to ask those really difficult questions at this time, because that's where you will find your true self. Okay? And we all could do that. All of us could really take a good, long, hard look at ourselves. Okay? It's not a bad idea to do. Okay? So they're saying sometimes you think you know, but you have no idea. Okay? And I think we've all been there, where we think we know, but we have no idea. Okay? And that's where we can find ourselves in hot water, honestly, when we think we know, but we have no idea. Okay? So just be aware. Maybe you could just ask yourself, do I think I know, or do I really know? Okay? Spirit is wanting you to really assess your life at this time. This is what I'm getting from this. Really take a good long look at yourself and your situation at this time. Okay? Okay, they just showed me a person jumping out of a plane, and they said, sometimes we think we're floating and we're free falling. Okay, so I feel like Pisces, something is not what it seems. And this could be a person, some type of relationship you're dealing with. It could be some kind of behavior that you're exhibiting at this time. Something Okay, something might feel good and feel just right. Okay? Or someone may be making us feel good. They could be love bombing us, telling us all the things we want to hear. Okay? Kind of making us feel floaty. I think we've all been there. Okay? Falling in love, it kind of like I'm getting floating. You know, you kind of feel like you're floating when you're falling in love. Or when you do actually are in love, you feel floaty. Okay? Spirit is saying that you could be just free falling. And once you hit reality, you'll see things differently. Okay? So maybe you're not seeing things for what they are. Okay? You got the rose-colored glasses on in some type of ways, and who hasn't? Who hasn't had their rose-colored glasses on? I know I have. Or I just intentionally overlooked things because I'm very good at picking up on people, which you probably are too, Pisces. Pisces, you're very discerning. Okay, you're one of the most spiritual signs out there. So you are very intuitive. Okay, but we can intentionally like ignore things. Okay, so that's the free falling aspect of us. Okay, we're just kind of, hey, everything's good. It's bliss, right? Ignorance is bliss is the saying. Okay, I wish I could. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But sometimes I feel like I could be too aware, that I pick up on too much. Maybe I analyze things too much. Okay, I don't know. That's just something that kind of annoys me. That I maybe I overthink is my problem. Okay, and maybe you can relate to that you overthink. Okay, I think we've all been there. We're just up in our head, right? Okay. Well, so that's just something to keep in mind at this time. Okay, Spirit is saying the problem is you're letting people control things, and you need to make sure that you keep your control. Okay, so this might not resonate with everyone. You could be dealing with somebody who's very a control freak or domineering or stubborn or has to have things their way in some type of way. Okay, and you're kind of giving up control. Okay, and this could be, it doesn't have to be a romantic thing. It could be friendship, it could be work. Okay, so Spirit is saying they want you to take back your power in some way. So take it back. You're giving up too much control in some area of your life. Okay, and maybe you know that and you feel that, but you're kind of like, you would rather just let that go than having to fight with somebody, or you would rather have your peace than control, which who hasn't been there? Okay, when you're dealing with a tyrant, you just want them to simmer down in a lot of ways. Like, okay, I'll feed the beast as long as you just relax. Like, please, I just want the peace back. Okay, that's how I felt growing up. Please, can we just have the peace back? Okay, it happens. And it's very easy to just give away your power. All right, just take it. I'd rather have peace than power. Okay, but Spirit is saying that that you need to maybe you got to cut off something to take back control. Okay? Maybe you feel out of control, but you've dealt with it for so long that it's become kind of a protective thing for you to give away your control. It makes you feel stable because that other person, once they have the control, the atmosphere becomes better in a lot of ways. That could be the case, that once you give that person control, everything simmers down. Okay? And I've been around that type of person that has to have control or madness ensues. Okay? And you give it to them and things get better. But it's always going to come back. Like the beast needs to keep being fed type of situation. You got to keep feeding them their control, or things start to get, the rage ensues. Okay? So Spirit is saying they don't want you to keep doing this in some aspect of your life. Okay? And that's going to be different for each of you. That you've got to take back your power. You've got to stand your ground on some situation here. Okay? And it'll resonate differently for each of you. Okay? Okay, they're saying the path to freedom is full of thorns, distractions, and obstacles. Okay? So, maybe Spirit is saying in some respects you must feel caged. That you've, and that the path to freedom is really difficult for you in some type of way. Okay? And you're experiencing all these different setbacks. Okay? And in finding your freedom. Okay? But they're saying it's worth overcoming these thorns, these distractions, and these obstacles. It's worth doing it. Because freedom is priceless. Okay? So, if this is resonating with you, they're saying it's not going to be easy, this path to freedom. But if you really want it, you can obtain it. It's just going to take a lot of willpower, a lot of effort. And you're going to have to stand your ground, and you're going to have to be confident. And you're going to have to take back your power. Take back control. Okay, they're saying the day has come for you to decide who you are. Okay. So this is going to be different for each one of you, Pisces. Who are you? Who are you as a person? They're saying the day has come for you to decide. Okay? So this is very powerful stuff here. The day has come for you to decide who you are. Okay? So they're kind of saying, are you someone that's going to roll over and just take it? Or are you going to get up off that ground and fight for who you are? Fight for yourself in a lot of ways. Okay? It's not easy to do. And I'm not saying it is easy to do. Anything along those lines is not easy. I know exactly where you're coming from in a lot of ways. It's a struggle, but it's worth it to to do all of this, to do this soul searching. It's really, truly worth it. I promise you. Okay, they're saying sometimes we've gone really far in a situation that's not for us. Okay, so maybe you've put forth a lot of time and effort into something that's not really for you. Okay, and they're wanting you to reassess at this time. Is this for me, or is it not? Okay, so maybe you've given a lot of yourself to something that's not really for you. Okay? And so you've got to really get in touch with yourself, and there has to be a lot of self-awareness here. Is this for me, or have I just been playing it safe? Is this my comfort zone? Is this I'm just doing this because it feels safe. This is all I know. This is what I'm used to. Are you letting fear and doubts and other factors such as that, like, really keep you somewhere that you don't want to be? Okay, Spirit is wanting you to really self-reflect at this time. Okay? And I think that's good for all of us to really take a good, long, hard look at ourselves and where we're at in life. Okay? I'm getting don't stop over and over again. Okay? I thought there more was coming, but I'm just getting don't stop. Okay? I don't really, that, if you know what that means, you'll know. Okay? That'll be different for each of you. I don't really want to expound upon that because I'm not sure what exactly the angels are trying to tell me, okay? And I don't want to say the wrong thing. You'll know. Let your intuition guide you on the don't stop, okay? Okay, they're saying the time has come for a new day and a new you. Okay, so maybe, obviously there's some changes that you could make. And don't put it off. If you've been putting it off, they don't want you to do that anymore. They want you to start. It's the time is now, honestly, is what I'm getting. Okay, and I'm kind of feeling an urgency. The feeling of, I kind of just want to, like, move quickly. Okay, so they're wanting you to do this quickly, no hesitation here. No hesitation. Okay, they're saying the crown of victory can be yours if you stand in your truth. Okay? So, whatever that truth is for you, if you stand in it, everything's gonna fall into place. Okay? The victory is you. You've got to be truthful with yourself and those around you, is what they're wanting. Okay? And then everything else will fall into place once you do that. Okay? So I think that's a good place to end this. I hope you enjoyed it, Pisces. Okay? And thank you so much for watching.